I fell off of a dirt bike yesterday in the driveway at my stepdad's and I really hurt my neck. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Asia Rhoda. I'm a diamond with It Works, obviously. And I'm from Connecticut. So I'm just gonna I don't know, I was talking to Jade and I was like, I just feel it really strong on my heart lately that I need to start sharing my story more. Um, and maybe because I know that I have I mean, we all have, crazy stories, but um I think my story is pretty messed up and I think it's good because I know there's other people that are in this business that probably have similar backgrounds and situations as what I was in, and it's important for you guys to know that you can turn things around and be successful with this business and kind of, not be another statistic. That was a big thing for me. I didn't want to be another stereotype. So while I'm on here and I'm talking, it's really important that you guys are working your business. So if you, tonight's the last night for the free exfoliating peel when you buy a facial. So make sure that you're following up with everybody about that. And then what I do when I do a power hour is I start on Instagram and I go in and I add 40 people because you can only add 40 people at a time now. So I go onto Instagram, I add 40 people. Phil, are you coming in or out? Because I'm shutting this door. Come on. Come on. There you go. So you can only add 40 people now. So I add 40 people and then I go through my followers and I message 10 people, but before I message them, I go and I interact on their page. So go follow 40 people on Instagram and then go into your followers list and you're going to message 10 people you've never messaged before. But before you message them, go onto their profile, like a few of their pictures and comment on one of them and then send them a message. So when you send them a message and you're like, hey girl, I was just checking out your page. It's not no, you weren't just checking out my page because you were just liking their pictures. So you're not lying to them. So that's a good thing. So do that and just I just message people. What I've been messaging lately is I'm just hey girl, I was just checking out your page. I'm looking for a couple more product testers for August. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in using one of our products at my discount for the next 90 days. Can I get you some more info? Or just something like that. But I've been adding in the month because, side note, before I get into my story, I feel like I started getting called out a little bit when people were oh, those spots are not unlimited or those spots are, not limited, blah, 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 blah. So I'll just be well, I'm looking for new testers for August or I'm looking for new testers for September, whatever month that it is. So that way it's not I don't know. I feel it just sounds more legit. It's a new month. I'm looking for more product testers for August because I'm looking to fill out my steps to success. Obviously I don't tell them that, but I mean, that's what it is. We're trying to fill out our steps to success. So I need new product testers or product models for August. So I just throw that in there. So go message some people and then after you message, interact on 10 people, message on 10 people, then go to Facebook. Go to Facebook and find 5 people to add as friends. That make sure you check out your mutual friends. Don't add anyone that's mutual friends with other distributors because we just don't do that. And then go into your friends list and go interact on 10 people's pages and message them. And then when you're done with that, go back to Instagram and spend 5 minutes liking and commenting on pictures that are coming up in your newsfeed. And when I say commenting, I don't mean put a heart. I mean leave a genuine comment. If someone, posted a picture of their kid, and their kid has on like, you know, like a cute outfit, and you have kids comment on it and be like, oh my God, that dress is so adorable. Where did you get it? So that you're like building an interaction with them. And then kind of just go through those motions, you know, over and over, going back and forth between Facebook and Instagram while we're on here. So I'm going to jump into my story. Every time that I drink before I start a video, now I feel like Allie Frazier, because she talked about it in the beginning of that video, how every time she starts a video, she's drinking something. But you gotta like wet your whistle. How can we find out who other It Works people are? I don't know many people that do this. You don't need to know many people that do this. I mean, it doesn't help you to be friends with other distributors on Facebook or Instagram. If you're unsure of what to post, you're in the Post for Customers page, and you're in the Legendary Diamonds page. So you have all the tools that you need right there on those two pages. Get on the power hours every night, and you know, follow, go on, you can go right on YouTube and like watch any of Jade Huber's trainings, or Sarah Nierman has really great trainings. Carrie Bauer, Jocelyn Yates. So, I mean, I learned how to work this business through YouTube because my enroller quit. So, but we'll get into that. So my story really starts when I was much younger. So I grew up, you know, it's pretty typical nowadays, you know, there's divorce is a huge thing. So I grew up with divorced parents. And my dad was always like the one who did like really well. Like he worked really hard. I was his only child. Like, and I was like such a daddy's girl, but I didn't live with him. So I only saw him like every other weekend. And, you know, like if he wanted to take me or whatever, like my mom would let him. But, you know, I basically like was with him every other weekend. I was just with my mom. But like everything that I did in life was like make my dad proud. And my mom like always kind of like struggled financially. We didn't have like the best home life as far as like, and I'm not at all like putting my mom down. Like she's amazing and I love her and like she's an incredible woman, but like she didn't always like make the best choices for us, I guess. So when I was 12, when I was in 8th grade, my dad got into an ATV accident, which a four-wheeler, if you don't know what an ATV is. He got into a four-wheeling accident, and he wasn't wearing a helmet, and he flew off his quad, and his head, he went directly into a tree. His head hit the tree, and he got life-starred to the closest hospital to us, and they basically had him on life support. And that like that night of that accident was like when my whole life changed. You know, I never like saw struggle before because like my dad was always like financially stable, and like, you know, he paid my mom child support, and like whatever I needed he bought for me. Like if I needed clothes, if I needed shoes, like whatever, if I needed money to go spend to do whatever, like, you know, I never like wanted for anything. And he got into that accident, and it was a very traumatic experience for me. I still have PTSD from that. I have a lot of like anxiety, like I suffer from anxiety, I suffer from depression, I have OCD, I have PTSD. So like you know, like I'm like fucked up in the head as it is. It's fine. Like I know there's a million other people out there, like, you know, it's just is what it is, like what's normal. So my dad was on life support in the hospital. They wanted to pull the plug, and my aunt was like, no, he's going to come out of this. He's going to come out of this. And they're like, no, like he doesn't have any, you know, he has no brain activity. He had a trach in his throat. So he had a, a machine that was breathing for him, pretty much putting oxygen into his lungs and keeping him alive. And my aunt was like, no, like, you don't know my brother. Like, I'm not signing the papers. You're not taking him off life support. And right before my 13th birthday, he woke up, and he's never been the same. Like, I'm getting married next month. He's not going to be able to walk me down the aisle. He's in a wheelchair. And he has traumatic brain injury. So he remembers everything up until the accident, but he doesn't remember, like, he probably won't remember something that like happened a couple weeks ago. So anyways, my life did like a downward spiral after that happened. And like, I won't say that that's an excuse, but I mean, I was 12 years old and went through a super traumatic experience. Like, pretty much the father that I knew, the father that I knew had growing up, he died. He's still no longer with us. So like, my dad's here, but it's not my dad. And so that was in 8th grade, and I started getting into a lot of trouble. And the summer before 9th grade, I was like partying. I was drinking a lot. I was hanging out with kids that I shouldn't have been hanging out with. And I went into my 9th grade year, and I was skipping classes, and I was, just totally going against the grain. Like, I just really like didn't have a care in the world. And my mom didn't know what to do with me because I was just a mess. So, my birthday's October 30th, and on my birthday, freshman year, they kicked me out of school. They said, like, she's not going to classes. Like, I got caught like smoking weed in the bathroom, and like, it's like, just like leave. Like, I would just walk out of the front door of school. Like, I just didn't care. I didn't care. I had no regard for anybody, for authority. I just didn't care. And they kicked me out of school, and I got put on probation for not going to school. And my mom was not in a good place, and she was not doing well as far as like, like, she was partying with me. Like, it just wasn't a good situation all around. And I was quickly becoming a stereotype. I was, got kicked out of school, high school dropout, partying, like, wasn't doing anything with my life. And I was always like the young one. Like, if I graduated high school, I would have graduated when I was 17 because I had a late birthday. So basically my probation officer was like, told my mom, like, my mom wanted to get me out of Connecticut. She wanted to move me to Florida. And she was like, if you want to get her out of here, get her to finish her tutoring classes through the end of the school year, and I won't send any of her records down to Florida. Meaning like I didn't go on probation when I was in Florida. So I finished out the year and we moved down there, and we lived in Daytona, and there's just a lot of people down there, and kind of like kids just fall through the system. You just fall through the cracks down there. So I didn't even like, we never enrolled me in school. Like, I just told my mom, like, I'm not going to school. And she was partying and not in a good place. Like, she literally went to the grocery store one day, came home, filled up the house, and was like, I'm going out, I'll be back, and didn't come home for 3 weeks. And I was 14. So it was pretty much like a free-for-all. And I was taking care of myself. And I realized that I was not going down a good path, and that if I was either going to wind up dead, pregnant, or in jail, or like in jail, pregnant, or like just my life was not in a good place. And I started dating this guy that was older than me, and I let him kind of like take care of me. Like, he had a car, and he had a job and stuff. So, like, he would make sure that like we ate. Like he made sure that we had food in our house. And when I was 14, I got a job working illegally under the table at a hotel, cleaning rooms. And, like I've always been a hard worker if I needed it. Like it was like, it came to a point where it was like, it was do or die. Like I had to take care of myself. Like it was very clear that my mom was not going to be taking care of me. And I have a younger sister and we left her behind. She was up here with her dad. We have different fathers. So she was up here with her father. And it was just me and my mom down there. And I was like, I got to do something. So I started working. And then when I turned 15, you can work when you're 15. So I got like a real job. I was working at Zaxby's 40 hours a week. My boyfriend made sure I got to work every day. And then as soon as I turned 16, I was like, I need to go get my GED. Like I can't just, like, I'm not gonna grow up and be my mom. Like I was looking at the life that we were living and I just knew it wasn't what I wanted for myself. I didn't want to have terrible credit. Like my mom had to file for bankruptcy. So she had no credit. She couldn't get a car in her name. She couldn't get a house. She couldn't get any credit cards. Like, she had nothing. So, I just knew that I didn't want that life. No matter what, I was going to make sure that that was not my life. Like I was not going to get into debt. I was not going to be a loser. I was not going to be another statistic, and I was not going to be a stereotype. I was going to do something better. And no one told me to go get my GED. My mom didn't push me to go get my GED or go to college. She didn't really give a shit what I was doing. So I turned 16 and I was like, I want to go get my GED, but you have to, sign the paperwork so that I can go take the class. So we went to the community college and she got me signed up to go start community college, the GED program there. And I went and I took my GED and I got the second highest score out of the 150 people that took it at the same time as me. I always knew like I wasn't stupid. Like I got good grades in school when I was going to school. Then I just like didn't care anymore, So I got my GED and I was like, all right, I need to take some college classes. Like I need to get a degree because I'm not going to like be waitressing or bartending, when I'm, 40 something years old, like my mom is. So I started taking college classes, and 3 months before my 18th birthday, my mom was like, well, I'm moving back home to Connecticut to go be with your sister because you're about to be 18 and your sister needs me now. And I was just like, okay, well, am I coming to Connecticut with you? And she was just like, there's nowhere for you to live where I'm going. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to stay in Florida and what? Where do you expect me to go? Like, I'm freaking 17. Like, I couldn't even, like, get a house if I wanted to. So my grandparents lived down there, and I moved in with my grandparents, and I was going to like just stay down there and be with my boyfriend and go to college and whatever. Like I was just going to do that. And like a month before she was leaving, not even like 2 weeks before she was leaving, I was like, Mom, I can't stay here. Like you can't leave me here. Like we have to figure something out. Like I can't stay in Florida. Like all that I've ever known is me and you. Like you can't just leave me here by myself, So, we got in touch with my aunt who had just had a baby, and I was like, please let me come stay at your house. Like, I don't want to stay in Florida. I don't want to stay with my grandparents. Like, I want to come home. So I moved back up here, and I moved in with my aunt and uncle, and I was taking care of their baby that they just had. And then like 2 months later, they threw me out. So I had to go move in where my mom was staying, and she let me go into her bedroom, and she was like living at like our cousin's house or something like crazy. Like it was crazy. Like it's just like I think about it now and I'm like, we lived with other people for so long. Like that's just like not normal. Like not anything I would ever want for my kids. Like I would never want to bounce our kids around the way that I was bounced around. We've been back in Connecticut since 2006, and this is the 10th house that I've lived in. Like it's just crazy. So anyways, I moved in there and my mom was like still not doing good. And I was like, all right, I got to get back into college. So I got into college up here, and I started working at a pharmacy, and I immediately fell in love with accounting. As soon as I went and took my first classes at the community college here, like I enrolled into the business program because I was like, I need to do something with business. And I had always been good at math. And I was like, all right, I fell in love with the accounting class, and I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on accounting. So I was working 45 hours a week, and I was going to school taking 16 credits, and I had a 4.0 GPA. I was doing really good in school, and I did that for like a few years. It took me a little longer to get my associate's degree because I was like, I took like a semester off and whatever. And I was like in between jobs and stuff, but I eventually graduated from there, and I was bartending. So it was perfect. So I was making like wicked good money. If any of you have like bartended or waitress, like, the money can be really good if you're working at the right place. So I was making really good money, and I still hadn't racked up any like credit cards at this point. I was like 22 or 23, and like my credit was super good. I had a car that was paid off, and I got into UConn School of Business, which was like my dream. I was like, the whole time I was going to school here, I was like, I'm going to apply to UConn. I'm going to apply to UConn. And the School of Business only takes 40 transfer students a year of like the entire country. And I was one of them. And I was so proud of myself. I got into, my dream school. So I started school, and I was like, this is not for me. I got into school, and I was like, got into my core accounting classes, and I was like, oh my God, this is nothing that I ever want to do for the rest of my life. And like, I mean, if you guys have watched any of my lives, or like if you know who I am, like no one could picture me being an accountant. Like I'm super loud and obnoxious and like really outgoing, and like not the type of person that you think would be like sitting behind a desk crunching numbers all day. So I pulled out of there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go to hairdressing school. And I found a school up here, and I got started, and I wasn't bartending anymore. And I got a job working at a salon, and I took a huge pay cut. Like I went from making like $600 a week to making like $110 a week. But I had this lifestyle that I was so accustomed to. So I just started swiping my credit cards, swiping my credit cards, swiping my credit cards. And I racked up, and I bought a new car. So I had this car payment that I couldn't afford. And my mom was already paying my insurance and my cell phone bill because I was living with her at this point, and like was doing much better and is doing much better, and she's a totally different person than she was 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But she was paying my car insurance and my cell phone bill, and I still couldn't pay my car payment. I was making minimum payments on all my credit cards, and I was struggling badly, and I got super, super, super depressed. Um, I wound up having to take a leave from school because I got really, really depressed and some things happened, and it just wasn't a good situation. And I was trying to get a bartending job, like anywhere. Like I was just trying to like get back behind the bar so I could make money. And it got to the point where like I was so broke and I was so just like needed a way out. I was so desperate. Um, I tr- this is so embarrassing, but I don't even care. I'm not ashamed of it. My fiance knows, and it's whatever. But I was like, well, I'm just going to try to go strip because I really need freaking money. And I went to this club and they told me that I was too fat and I couldn't work there. And I was like, wow, that's rough. And like, I'm like 30 pounds heavier now than I was then. So, I mean, I really like, yeah, killing my dreams for real. No, but I really did. I was like, I'm going to go be a stripper. And I went to this place and they like looked at me and they're like, you need to go tone up and maybe lose about 15 pounds and then come back. And I was like, well, that's not happening. So I'm like, okay, that was a bad idea. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. That was a terrible plan. Like, let's not, take our clothes off for money. I mean, whatever. Like, I was willing to do it. If they didn't tell me I was too fat, I would have done it. Like, I was desperate for money. And, oh God, I was having such a hard time finding a job. And I was like, well, what can I do from home? Like, and I had like kind of been like looking, for like something to do like on the side or just like make some extra money. But like, I never thought about network marketing ever. Like that wasn't even like, I don't even know what this was. So, I can't believe I just told you guys that. Whatever, it's fine. So, I actually wound up like going through my room because it was like getting to the point where like I literally like my car was gonna get repossessed. Like that's when it like got to this point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go be a stripper because I can't get a job anywhere and I need money and I'm in school full time. And I mean, we all know, you guys all know if you've went out looking for jobs that you go and you fill out a job application and it asks you for your availability. And as soon as you put on there that you're not available on this day, on this day, on this day, from this time to this time, this time to this time, your application's going over here. Like they don't even want to look at it because they want someone who has flexible hours to, you know what I mean? Like that's just how it works. So, I just couldn't get hired anywhere because no one even wanted to look at my application because I was in school, 5 days a week and I wasn't available. So I started selling stuff in my room and I was like, what can I sell? Like I had like an old computer. So like I sold that and made my car payment one month. And I had like, like those Pandora bracelets. So I like sold like all my charms for my Pandoras and all this stuff. And I got to the point where I had nothing left. And I had a necklace that my dad gave me for my 10th birthday. And I pawned it so that I could pay a bill. And that's my biggest regret out of everything that I've done. All the mistakes that I've made, my biggest regret was pawning that necklace because I'll never get it back. And it was like the last nice thing that he bought me before his accident. So times got really desperate. And I finished school and I wasn't working at all at this point. I had left the salon that I was at. It was just like not a good environment for me. And I left there and I was like, all right, I got to get a job. So I got a job working at Ulta in the salon and my book started filling up super quick. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. Like I'm, making decent money. And then my student loans started coming in because I had finished school, and 6 months after you finish school, hello, student loans. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have those, and they suck so bad. They're so expensive, and you're like, I'm going to be paying these forever. I was like, well, shit, I just felt like I was starting to get ahead. Now I have these student loan payments that I have to make. And that's kind of when I had seen it works. Like, I had seen girls posting about the wraps and stuff. And I'm like, who are you people? Like, why do these random girls keep trying to be my friend on Instagram? And like, I didn't even use Instagram. I had like 200 followers. I maybe like posted once in a while. And like, I didn't really know much about how it worked. And I'm like, why are these random people that like, how are these people finding me? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I don't know them. How did they find my page? Like, why are they trying to be on here? And like, they're posting weird pictures of people's stomachs and like, what is this thing? And there's no way that you can put something on you and it like makes you skinny. Like, this is a joke. So I was just like blocking people, like, stay away from me. You're part of like a crazy cult. I don't know what's going on. And then my girlfriend, Tia, posted about the hair, skin, and nails. And I was like, oh, I want that. Like, she posted a before and after picture, and I'm like, I don't know what that stuff is. Like, I didn't know that it was It Works. I didn't know anything. And I was like, oh my God, like, I want that. I need to grow my hair out, because when I started hairdressing school, guys, my hair was like down here below my boobs. And when I finished hairdressing school, my hair was like right up here. It was just not a good look for me. So I was like, oh my God, I need that stuff. And so I messaged her, and she's like, oh, like, you should just become a rep. And I was like, no, like, I'm good. Like, I'm doing hair, I'm fine. And she was like, no, like, so she was like, you should just do this. Like, there's this $1,000 bonus going on. And I was like, $1,000. And I'm like, there's no freaking way. So I'm like, asking her all these questions, because like, I'm like a very red personality, but like when it comes to like money and about like, like stuff like this, like, I'm very green. Like, I need all the information that I can get. So I'm like, how are you really going to make $1,000? Well, who's going to pay it to you? How are you going to get it? Are they going to mail you a check? How does this work? Are you sure that they're going to pay you? Like, what do I have to do? And she was just answering all my questions, whatever. And I went back and forth about it, and I'm like, whatever, I'm already in so much debt. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's another $100. Who cares? Like, whatever. So I got out with my credit cards, and I maxed it out, and I bought my business kit, and I ordered the hair, skin, and nails, because really that's what I wanted, was the hair, skin, and nails. And I didn't do anything for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. And she was like, Asia, so like, what's your plan? Like, I'm about to earn this $1,000 bonus. Are you gonna earn this bonus with me? And I'm like, and she placed this girl under me, and she's like, oh, like, this is so and so. And she like put us in a chat together, and she's like, okay, like, we're all gonna earn this $1,000 bonus. And I'm like, okay, what do I got to do? So she was basically like, she was brand new, mind you. Like, this girl was brand freaking new, like, signed up like a couple weeks before me. And she's like, okay, so I'm going to put you in this page, and then just go on YouTube and watch Jade Hooper. And I was like, okay. So I went on YouTube, and I literally spent like all the time that I could during the day, if I wasn't at work, just watching Jade Hooper videos. And it was kind of just like ignorance on fire. Like, none of us knew what we were doing. The girl that was under me, that she placed under me, she didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know what she was doing. And her upline, Taylor Vavra, who's a triple diamond, she was brand new too. So she didn't really know what she was doing. So we were all just kind of like winging it. But it was literally like, it was such a good thing, because there was just so much momentum building up. But oh my God, I just read this comment. Maybe I can strip it all blitz on there. Oh my God, okay. Sorry. You can just wear like a neon green thong. It's fine. So I hope Jade doesn't yell at me for the stuff that I'm talking about on here right now. But hey, it's my story. It's real life. It's what happened. And I'm probably not the only person. So, um, it took me almost a month to get my first 4 customers. So if you guys are like brand new and you're on here and you're like stressed out because you haven't enrolled anyone yet, my mom was my first customer. I made her order hair, skin, and nails. I took her credit card and was like, "You're going to be my first customer," and signed her up to order hair, skin, and nails. So, and then I just sold a bunch of hair, skin, and nails. I started reaching out to all the girls in hairdressing school. And when my business kit came in, I had that. So I took the HSN. My results were like, my 2-week results were like amazing. My hair grew well over an inch in 2 weeks. So like I had these super awesome results. So I was just like sending them to everybody I went to hair school with, because we were all idiots and cut all our hair off when we were in school and like really regretted it. So I'm like, you need this. Like your hair is going to grow out. Like, look at these pictures. So I got my first 4 customers. And then, this was in May. I signed up in May. In June, I was boxed in for Ruby. And in July, I promoted to Ruby, July 2015, and I earned the $1,000 Ruby bonus that they had. And I paid off my Victoria's Secret credit card and my Express credit card that month. And I was like, hallelujah, like this is what I needed, because those are like the 2 credit cards that, like, if you guys have them, you know, you're like forever just making the minimum $25 payment on them and they're never getting paid off. So I got my first check, and the Ruby bonus was split up into 2 months. So it was paid out 500 and 500. And yes, Victoria's Secret card is the freaking devil, because the interest rate is like 30 something percent and you never pay it off. So my first Ruby check with the bonus was over $1,000. So I paid off my Express card and my Victoria's Secret card that month. And I was like, so what? And then I was like, you know, I'm just going to like hang out at Ruby. Like, I didn't want to like, do too much. Like, I really wanted to do hair, and I was doing really good at the salon. And I'll tell you guys how I balanced working, full-time and moving and becoming a stepmom to 3 kids overnight and going diamond, all like how I balanced all of it. Well, I didn't really balance it. I just kind of like made it happen, but I'll tell you guys about that after. But in the beginning of July was also when I met my fiance, Jamie. And we had known each other. We were from the same town, but he was married to his high school sweetheart and, you know, had kids and a family and whatever. And right when they broke up, him and I started talking and like instantly hit it off. And a month later, he asked me to move in with him. And I picked up and packed up all my shit and moved out of my mom's house and became a stepmom to 3 kids overnight and had my own house. And I was like, holy shit, what did I just get myself into? Because kids are expensive and I was in debt and he was in debt. And it was just like, maybe we didn't think this through all the way. Maybe I didn't think this through all the way. But I was commuting over an hour to work every day and over an hour home, because the salon that I was working at is like way far away from here. And I'm like 30 minutes away from my hometown now. And my work was 30 minutes in the opposite direction of where I lived. So I was commuting like crazy 5 days a week. And it really sucked. And I was like, dude, like, this is awful. Like, this is terrible. And the girls at work, like my boss at work, knew that I was kind of like getting over it. And she was like, we were really short staffed there. And she's like, listen, like, Asia, if you're going to leave, please give me a heads up. Like, don't, like, please, like, put in your notice. Like, literally asked me to put in my notice. So I was just like super over it. And I was like, I can't do this drive anymore. Like, I'm just going to get a job closer to home. It really sucked because like we only have the kids 50-50. So I was working on the weekends. So I didn't see them on Saturdays and Sundays when we had them. I was working nights. So by the time that I got home, it was 10 o'clock at night. So I wasn't spending time with the kids, and like, it just sucked. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get a day job and, you know, have a steady check and just kind of like, you know, be, you know, be a 9-to-5er now that I like have this family. And I still, at this point, still like It Works was not, I wasn't like, oh my God, like I'm going to go diamond and double diamond and I'm going to be an ambassador diamond and like be a millionaire. Like I didn't have that vision. It was not anywhere on my radar. I thought it was a joke, to be honest with you. Like I just was like, no, this is not real life. I'll just sit back and collect, you know, my $500 a month as a Ruby. And I went into work and I put in my notice. And right before I was about to do my last client of the day, Lord help that woman, because she probably got the worst friggin' haircut of her life. They were like, she was like, after you're done with this client, Asia, you need to pack up your station and leave the premises. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you practically begged me to give you my notice and you're going to fire me right now? Like, you're going to make me leave after I gave you my notice? So this poor woman, God, like, I know I totally gave her the worst haircut of her life. I still feel bad for her when I think about it. So I was like, cool, I just got fired and I have a shit ton of bills that I already can't afford. And now I don't have a paycheck. And my new boyfriend, who I just moved in with, is going to think I'm a freaking loser because I just got fired. And now, like, he's going to have to pay my bills for me pretty much. So I got a job out here really quickly. And again, I realized that this 9-to-5 life was not for me. Oh my God, no. Alyssa, literally, this woman, like, I know I suck at cutting short hair anyways. And she was this little old lady and she had short hair. And like, you know, I might have done an okay job if I didn't just get told to like pack up all my stuff, but I was like holding back the tears, and that woman's hair, like, for sure was the worst haircut of her life. Like, I'm surprised I didn't cut her by accident. Like, it was really bad. So I got this job out here and then quickly realized that the 9-to-5 life is not for me. And then I realized maybe like I'm just not a good employee. Like I don't like working for other people. I don't like people telling me what I have to do when I have to do it. Like, I'm just not good at that, which is what I liked about doing hair. Cause it's like, you have your clientele. So like, you just go to work and then, you know, like, you just do your clients. No one really bothers you. So I quit that job real quick and I got a job at the salon out here by where we live with these snooty, oh God, like when you talk about like mean girls, like the girls that worked in this place were like, you know, 15 Regina Georges, like just like wretched bitches. No one you would ever want to work with or be friends with or like have a conversation with. And so I was working there. And long story short, this woman came in and she had black box dye in her hair and she wanted to look like Kim or Khloe Kardashian. And I was like, well, your hair is not going to look like that because it will fall out. And if any of you are hairdressers on here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was like, well, it's not going to happen. So like, I did everything that I could for this woman, and her hair looked pretty, but it wasn't as light as she wanted it to be. So she called and like literally, oh my God, I hope that you're getting a lot done. Guys, make sure that you're working while you're listening to me. So she called and complained to my manager, and this was 2 weeks before Christmas. And my manager called me at home and it was on a Monday. And I was like, yeah, like it's, like I told her what happened. And she's like, oh, okay, like that's fine, whatever. And my next scheduled shift was on Thursday. So I go into work on Thursday and she's like, Asia, this really isn't working out. I'm going to need you to pack up your station and leave. And I'm like, you're literally firing me 2 weeks before Christmas and I have 3 kids at home. Like, are you joking me right now? Oh, I saw that bitch at dinner a couple weeks ago at a restaurant, and she looked at me and like would not even make eye contact when she realized who I was. But anyway, so she fired me because I couldn't give this girl platinum blonde hair, but whatever. So I was so stressed out, and I came home, and Jamie was like, Asia, it's going to be fine. And we had just signed him up as a distributor because he's like, why don't you just like start building under me so we can get 2 paychecks? And like, you know, I was like still doing the It Works thing. I was maintaining Ruby, but I wasn't like building. And I was like, all right. And he's like, why don't you, like, conference is coming up. You keep like, you know, everyone was like all hyped up about conference and like how, you know, it's going to be January and like everything's going to be crazy and the boom and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And Jamie's like, listen, like, what if they're right, you know? And like, I had never been through a January before. I signed up in May. So like, I'm clueless. So I'm like, okay, like, whatever. And he's like, listen, like, don't stress out about finding a job. It's right before Christmas. Like, just, you're going to do It Works. Like, just do this, like, give it like a solid 2 months and, see what happens. Like, you know, let's like see what happens with conference and stuff. So I was like, all right. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go all in. And I made that decision. Like, okay, I'm going to go all in with this. Like, I'm really going to give it my all for the next, you know, few months and let's see what happens. And by the end of this December, Jamie was boxed for Ruby. I boxed him for Ruby. In January, he promoted to Ruby, earned a $500 bonus. I promoted to Emerald. In February, Mark announced the double good bonuses, $20,000 for going diamond. And I had a full diamond chart. And I was like, I looked at Jamie, and our friend Ari was down here from Massachusetts because we got the pay-per-view and watched it on pay-per-view because we couldn't afford to go to Florida. And we were sitting in the living room. Me and Ari were like crying, watching Mark's freaking thing. And, you know, he like is announcing these bonuses. And I was like, oh my God. And we're looking at each other. And like me and Ari were both charted for diamond. And we're like, dude, like we're legit about to earn like $20,000 bonuses. Like, who are we? How is this even real life right now? Like, it was just like surreal. And, you know, I pushed during February, and we came up short and we didn't promote. And March 1st came around, and Mark was like, we're bringing the double good bonuses back. And I was like, okay, like, this is it, Jamie. This is it. And I pushed so hard that month with our team, and it was the last day of the month, and I woke up and we still needed like 2,000 in volume for him to go Emerald. And they had an Emerald bonus at the time. It was the only time they ever did, and it was doubled. It was $2,000. And I was like, well, we're going to do this. So he announced that they were back, and we push. And it was the last day of the month. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a minute. I had to remember what I was saying. And we needed 2,000, like a little over 2,000. And I was like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And like, I don't pray. Like, well, I was not like a spiritual person when I came into this business. I was like a mental case, but I was like standing out on the deck. I remember we filled so much volume, and it was like 8:00 at night, and I still needed like 1,000 BV. And I was like, holy shit, how am I going to do this? And I was like out on the deck, and I was crying, and I was like, God, like, if you have been listening to me, or you have been watching me, or like whatever, like, I am trying. I don't know what to do, but like, point me in the direction, because I need to make this happen. And at like 11:45 that night, well, no, it was like 12:45 our time, because everything goes by Central Time and we're on Eastern Time. So like whenever, you know, they say midnight, we have till 1:00 our time. So it was like 12:45. eSuite is crashing, and I'm trying to move the last order to fill the volume for us to promote. and we did it. And it was like, oh my God. Like, what? Like, we just earned, like, I didn't finish ninth freaking grade. And I just set us up to be making $3,000 a month from my phone and earned its $22,000 in bonuses. And I've been in this company for 8 months. Like, what just happened? And that just changed the game. That just changed everything. And we got that first check, and I bawled like a baby because never in my life had I made that much money in 1 month at any other job, even when I was working, 10 hours of overtime a week, working, 45, 50-hour weeks. I never had made that much money. When I was bartending, I never had made that much money. And I was like, we did it. And I didn't even believe in myself. Like when Jamie was like, we're going to go do this. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he believed in me enough to push me to believe in myself because I didn't see the big picture. And he saw it. Like he saw the vision before me. And I guess I'm really lucky that I have a very supportive spouse because I know not everybody does. And if you don't, I mean, it's just like your kids. Like you just have to like cancel out the noise and just focus so that when you do it, you can just be like, told ya. Like you thought I was stupid and nope, like you were the stupid one. You should have just believed in me. So yeah, so many people's like spouses don't want them to join. I'm like, what do they care for? Like, honestly, what do they care for? Because you're probably sitting on your phone in bed, miserable, scrolling on Facebook and shit anyways. So like, why not make money while you're doing it? Like, it's like, just like whatever. So what I did when I was working full time, I told you guys, well, and so now here we go. So now here I am another year later. I'm still at Diamond and that's okay. I'm about to promote Jamie to Diamond this month and go double Diamond next month. So, just over 2 years into the business and I'm setting us up to be making $7,000 a month. And that doesn't happen to people like me. So I know you think there's a bunch of you on here, I know, that think that stuff doesn't happen to you either, but it can. It can happen to you. You just got to put in the work. Like I worked really freaking hard to get to where we are, but it was so, so worth it. And I got to spend the last 2 summers home with our kids. And we got to take them on vacation and not have to stress out about Jamie missing a week of work or having to use credit cards. And we're getting married in 34 days. And It Works has paid for our entire wedding. So, and like not even joking, like It Works, like Jamie's money pays the bills. My money is paying for the wedding. And we're going to have a beautiful wedding. And if you guys follow me, you'll be able to see all of our pictures. I'm so excited about it. But what I did when I was working full time, because like I went Ruby super fast. I mean, well, I guess maybe it wasn't super fast. Well, it was in like 2 months, so pretty fast. And I was working full time, like I told you guys. So literally what I did was when I was in the car driving, I listened to training videos. I listened to Jade Hooper like on replay. That's all that I did was listen to Jade Hooper videos. When I first started, we didn't have these power hours. Our leadership was not as tight-knit as we are right now. Jade wasn't as involved with everyone as she is now. We really do, like, I hope you guys know that, like, you really, when we say, like, you're on the best team in this company, like, you're legit on the best team in this company. Like, we have the best leadership. I don't know other teams that are doing nightly power hours, or other teams that their ambassador is, doing, Jade's number 5. Like, she could just sit back and kick it and just, collect paychecks for the rest of her life, just run her auto ship and not do a goddamn thing. But she's literally with us working every single day. Like, no questions go unanswered. Like, she just, she's her and Ashley and Morgan. And I mean, there's like, I don't even know how many freaking ambassadors are under Jade at this point, but there's a freaking lot of them. And, all the leaders, like, our team is very one, our team Hooper is very like one team, one mission. Like, we have all of our leadership all together in this page, which is amazing. Like Sarah's on here right now. Like, Sarah and me are just sideline sisters, but Sarah and I have become really good friends because of this business. And, she pours training into our page all the time, and she doesn't have to do that for us. Like, I'm not her downline. A lot of you guys aren't on her downline. She doesn't have to share her stuff with you guys, but she does. Like, our leadership is very, very involved with our team as a whole. And I want you guys to understand that that's something really special that we have, because it's not like that on, maybe some of the other teams are like that, but like, we have the best of the best leaders on this team, and we have the best social media training. Like, if you want to know how to work your business on social media, you're going to learn it from Jade, from Sarah, from Cassie, from me, from Allie. Like, we know what we're doing. So I just was plugged into trainings. I got on Jade's call every week, every Sunday night. She just started doing them again, the family calls on Sunday nights. We used to always have those. That was like a thing that was every week, no matter what. We didn't have Zoom back then, so we didn't get to like do these cool hangouts like this. So, we did nightly, every Sunday night. We had the family call before the It Works corporate call. Get plugged into those calls every week. And then if I knew that I had a full book at the salon the next day, I set up a couple posts in my phone. Like, I knew what pictures that I wanted. I didn't know about airplane mode and all that fancy stuff. But I set up all of my, like, I knew what pictures I wanted, and I would just like save whatever I was going to post into my notes. And every time that I went pee, I would post, and I would send out like 10 messages and follow 100 people, because you used to be able to follow a lot of people at one time on Instagram, and then they just stopped it recently. Sorry, I'm getting like really overwhelmed right now. And then I would do that every time that I peed. So like, for you guys that are like, oh, like, I'm so busy at work, I don't have time. Like, you pee during the day. Your boss is like legally not allowed to tell you that you can't pee. So when you go pee, you make a post and you send out a few messages. Like, they don't know what you're doing in the bathroom. For all they know, you have like IBS and you have to poop 5 times a day. Like, they literally don't know. It's fine. So you go into the bathroom, when you're in the stall, you sit there and you make a post and you send out some messages and whatever. And then when you're on lunch, legally, you have to be able to take a lunch break. It is the law. So when you're on lunch, you make a post and you message some people. You wake up a little bit earlier in the morning. When you're in the shower, listen to a training video. Like, I listened to training videos whenever I could. So if I was in the shower, I was listening to something. If I was making breakfast, I was listening to something. If, I was driving, I was listening to something, because knowledge is power. So you don't have to watch a training to be able to know what's going on, because usually it's just like this. Someone's just sitting in front of you talking. So you listen to trainings. Yeah, see, you're allowed to poop. Everyone's allowed to poop. They can't tell you that you can't poop. Like, we live in America, guys. So, and then what I did, so I knew that, well, if your phone doesn't work at your job, then you get on these power hours at nighttime, because you can successfully work. Like, I now successfully work my business in like 2 or 3 power hours a day. So like, I'm home all day, but I have ADD. Like, I already told you guys about all my head issues. I'm all over the freaking place, and we got 3 kids running around and 3 dogs running around, and I'm planning a wedding, and it's chaotic. If you guys have kids, you know it's just pure chaos all the time. And the kids are 5, 6, and 12, and they're like beating the shit out of each other. And this one's biting this one, and this one pulled this one's hair, and this one cut his own hair the other day. And like, it's just a mess. So during the day, I can't concentrate because I'm like, I don't even know what's going on right now. So at nighttime, the kids go to bed at 8 o'clock, and then I sit down and I work my business at my desk. Jamie goes to sleep because he wakes up super early to go to work. And oh my God, I can't wait for school to start, you guys. I'm like, every day Layla's like, I can't wait for school because she's going into kindergarten. And I'm like, girl, I can't wait for school either. Like, sister, don't even tell me. I cannot wait to get you on the bus that first day. Like, they make me nuts. Kids are keeping Xanax alive, I'm telling you. So I have like Confianza stocked up in my closet, like probably like 10 bottles. Oh yeah, twins. See, Layla and Bentley might as well be twins. They're 4 and 5. No, they're 5 and 6. When I met Jamie, they were 3 and 4. It was like, holy crap, this is way too much for me to deal with. And they're a boy and a girl, and now they don't like the same stuff. And like Layla wants Bentley to play babies with him, and Bentley doesn't want to play babies. He wants to play Legos, and Layla's like smashing his Legos, and he's throwing her baby dolls across the house. And then tonight, one of them was calling the other one a pussy, and like it was just a mess. Like it's just like I'm just like, what is happening with our lives right now? I cannot. So, I'm like, oh my God, someone's gonna get hot sauce in their mouth. Like, I don't know what's going on. Jamie's yelling. It's Autumn's birthday. She has a friend over. This one's calling this one names. Like, what is my life? So I'm not working my business during the day, guys. I'm like just trying to keep my head above water with laundry and children and dogs. And like, it's just a disaster. So at nighttime, then everybody goes to sleep. And then that's my time to work my business. So I do what I was just telling you guys. I have alarms set up during the day. So during the day, my chat's going off a lot because now I have a team under me. So I'm checking in with my team. I'm helping, answering questions in the chat, and I post during the day. But then at nighttime, that's when I message, I send follow-up messages during the day because it's easy because I have names written in my planner. But at night, when it comes to having to send out new messages, then I just do it at night. So you guys can totally do it in an hour a day, even if you have to break it up by waking up a little bit early in the morning and sending out 50 messages in the morning, and then at nighttime, taking a half an hour and sending out another 50 messages. And then, just during the day, you do what you can. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So, putting in 20%, if that's all you can give that day, it's better than just saying like I do this with food all the time. Like, oh, like I ate a bagel this morning, so I already ruined the whole day. So like, I'm just going to eat like shit for the rest of the day. Like people do that with their business. They're like, well, I can't really give it everything today, so I'm just not going to give it anything at all. You can't do that. You have to work every day, because if you're not, then, the girl next to you, she's going to. So there's going to be people that are going to post every day. And there's going to be someone that really wants HSN, and they're going to forget that they want it, and you forgot to follow up with them. And then Sheila down the road messaged them, and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I wanted that, but Katie messaged me about it, but like, I haven't really heard from her, and I don't think I've seen her posting lately, so maybe she doesn't do it. So I'm just going to order from Sheila. And like, that's literally how it works. So it's super important to always have your business open. So you have to post every single day. It's literally that easy, that you post, you send out messages, and you follow up, and then you add new people. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, literally a monkey could sit here and do it because it's that easy. And we just overcomplicate it. And I'm guilty of overcomplicating it too. Like, I do it too. Sorry, guys. I know that it's getting late. I'm rambling on. But don't overcomplicate it. Like, if you are like a list person, make a list. Like I have a thing in my planner, and it's like, add 100 people on Instagram, and I have 10 boxes next to it. I have 5 boxes next to it. So 5 times a day, I check that off. I followed 100 people on Instagram. And then I have like add 30 friends on Facebook, or it's like broken up into like 10. So like add 10 friends on Facebook, and I have like 3 boxes. So I can check off the box 3 times a day, added 10 people. And then, post 2 times about this and 1 time about this. And then, so I have my list. So I know that if I want to be successful, I just need to do what's on the list. So if all else fails and I'm all over the place, I know I can look at my list at the end of the day and don't go to sleep until I do what's on my list. And it might mean staying up a little bit later or waking up a little bit early. And I know you guys are tired. Like, I get it. I'm tired right now. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning with children screaming. And we had a birthday here today, and Autumn had friends over, and like, I get it. And it's almost 12:30 at night where I am, but I committed to doing the Zoom. And so I'm on here doing the Zoom, and I haven't even worked yet. So when I get off of here, I'm going to go work, because I've been talking this whole time and I can't work when I'm talking. Yeah, if you guys have questions, start putting them in the chat right now, because I want to try to get off of here in 15 minutes. How many products posts do you do? Okay. So Jade's going to yell at me. Well, she's not going to yell at me, but whatever. I don't follow the 3-3 rule. I post 1 product post a day. Me personally, this is what I do and what works for me. And things work differently for everybody. When I first started, I followed the 3-3 rule religiously. I do 2 life posts a day, 1 product post, and just like a non-it works post. I am not the person to ask about wrap parties. I've been in this business for over 2 years, and I've never had one wrap party. Ashley Olive has, I can put my checklist. I'll make a document I'm all over the place. Ashley Olive has some really good training videos on YouTube about doing wrap parties. And so does Ashley Sinclair. And I want to say Tiffany Herr has some. I don't know. I don't do wrap parties, but I know Ashley Olive partied her way to ambassador. So she's a good person to look for those kind of trainings. And I think Ashley Hughes did a lot of wrap parties, the Ashleys. Okay, so daily checklist. I can put my daily checklist. Sarah actually also has one. Sarah Neerman. If you guys go, and mine is very similar to hers, and she's uploaded hers. So if you go into the Legendary Diamonds page, there is like a documents tab, and there's different documents in there. So there is a checklist in there, and it's very similar to the one that I follow. I think it might even be the same. I think I might have been like, hey, Sarah, send me your checklist. And printed it out. So there's one in the thing. What are your tips on signing DTs on top of posting? So I don't message for DTs. I message for customers. I've always signed more customers than distributors. I usually sign between I'm not like a mass enroller by any means. But I usually enroll between 8 and 15 customers a month from messaging on Instagram. I mostly build my business on Instagram. And distributors, I sign distributors by people literally messaging me from my life posts. So posting about this business is the best thing that you can do for yourself. That's literally how I sign all my distributors, is through my life posts. So make sure that you're taking the time to do those, because they're really important. A good example of a life post. A life post can literally be anything. I'll go get my nails done and I'll take a picture of my nails and be like, bi-weekly mani-pedi today, see how it works. Like this, every time I get my nails done, this is what I post. It's bi-weekly fresh nails or whatever. And then I do CO, care of it works. And then I'll be if your job's not paying for your bi-weekly mani-pedis, then we need to talk. That's a life post. If I go to the grocery store, I take a picture of my groceries and the receipt. And I'm I talk about how I was on food stamps before I started at Works, and how, I had less than $200 a month to afford groceries for the month. And now I can go to the grocery store and buy whatever we want. You can make a post that you just filled up your gas tank with Rap Cash. In the beginning, it's kind of hard. Like, it's not harder, but you have to be more creative. Like, in the beginning, you kind of have to like fake it till you make it. So like, even if Rap Cash didn't pay to fill up your gas tank, you can like still post and say that, I just filled up my tank with Rap Cash. Like, I used to do that all the time, because people don't join this business because they want to make $1 million. People join this business because they are broke as shit, and an extra $30 a week would like be make or break for like filing for bankruptcy, or like losing their house, or putting food on the table. Like, that's why people join this business. So that would be like, just post about like the best formula for a life post. And again, Sarah Neerman, she has this post that's it's like the formula for the perfect life post. And it's like this big long thing, but it's basically like, you talk about what you're doing right now, and how pretty much like, I'll talk about what I did. Like, yesterday was a Sunday. I used to work in the salon on Sundays. So I would be like, I just spent the day in the sunflower fields with my family, and we went and got ice cream. Sundays are looking so much different these days. I used to spend all day in the salon behind the chair, and now, because of the freedom this business has given me, I get to enjoy my weekends with my family. Boom, life post. So like, what were you doing before it works? How is it different now, and where are you going? Like, that's pretty much how, like, what you want to focus on. And if you don't have like a huge story, talk about why you joined. Be vulnerable. The more vulnerable you are, like me getting on here tonight, telling my story, like, that's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to talk about, but that's how people relate to you. And that's how you sign distributors, by being relatable. So you just want to be relatable. So you talk about why you joined. Did you join because, you were about to lose your house and you really need an extra $200 a month? Did you join because you need to be able to pay for health insurance out of your pocket? Did you join because you need to pay for books for college, or your student loans started coming in and you can't afford them, put them into your budget, and you need an extra few $100s a month to pay for them? People join this company to make a couple extra $100s a month. They don't join to be millionaires. I mean, some of them do, but not many join for, not many have that vision right in the beginning when they sign up. Where am I? What's going on? What escalated quickly? I don't know what's happening. I know I'm crazy, guys. Every time I add people on Facebook, they always say, do I know you? So I usually add people that have like mutual friends of mine. But if people message me, like, I get that too. I get that on Instagram too. And like, I just don't answer them. I mean, I don't know. You're going to know me because you're going to watch my page if you accept my friend request. But I usually don't respond to people when they ask me if they know me. But so when I add people on Facebook, I try to add people that I have at least 5 mutual friends with. Some people, go by saying, don't add people that you have more than 3 mutual friends with. I mean, I find that if we have more mutual friends, they're more likely to just like accept my friend request and not really say anything, because they figure they like know me, from somewhere, because we know the same people. I'm through my hundreds list. I am through my hundreds list. Do I send message to people who didn't even respond? If so, how long do I wait? So it's super important. And Hope talked about this on Friday night if you were on. While you guys are working through your warm market, it's really important for you to be growing your cold market. So because eventually your cold market is going to become your warm market. So while you're going through and you're messaging the people that you know, in your phone, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, the people that you already know, it's super important to be adding new friends and adding new followers so that you're not running out of people to message. If people didn't respond in your hundreds list, you can send them a different message. Are they people that you know personally, or did you just like go through your Facebook and make a list? Let me know and I can help try to answer that better. Okay, how do you find guys to follow? I don't follow guys and I don't let guys follow me. So if I accidentally follow a guy on, because in my personal experience, I've never had a guy DT sign up that worked their business really hard. That's just been my personal experience. And my fiance is not really involved with my business a lot because he owns his own business that he runs. So I don't know, training guys is kind of out of my comfort zone. So I just haven't really went down that route. So I don't add guys. It's just like a personal thing of mine. Tips on Instagram getting followers. Follow people. So go to an account that has like, I try to find accounts that are like not celebrities, but have like a few thousand followers. And then I go to like their most recent picture and I follow the girls that liked it. The more you follow, the more people will follow back. I find personally that having my Instagram set on private, I get more followers and I retain more followers because people are more inclined to follow back to see your page. And then when I go through, I wait till the end of the day. Oh, God, I can't catch my breath. I wait till the end of the day to accept friend requests. And when I go through and I'm doing it, every time I go, I look at their page. I make sure that they're not like a rep for It Works or with, a different company that sells stuff that competes with us. And I make sure that they're like not like weird or creepy or posting like inappropriate things. And if they're all good, then I accept their follower requests and I go through and I like at least 5 of their pictures and comment on one of them, like a genuine comment where like they're going to respond back to me, like ask them a question or like compliment them on something. But I do that so it takes a little longer to accept my follower requests because I kind of filter through people as I'm accepting them, making, just going through the criteria that I just went over. And then I just make sure that I like and comment because now they're going to see those notifications and they're going to be more inclined to go look back at my profile and check out my posts. And it's really important to make sure that you're not posting like spammy ads. I make sure that like I have at least one selfie on every line of my face. I'll show you guys my Instagram real quick. What is going on right now? I don't know. Blowing up. Go away. So my Instagram, I post a lot of selfies. My name doesn't have anything to do with It Works. I don't have anything to do with It Works in my bio. You always want to have more followers than are following you back. And I just make sure that my pictures are really bright and I post a lot of selfies. So like on every line, I have to have at least one selfie. Like I try not to have 2 posts in a row that don't have a face in them. Like usually it's every other. Sometimes I don't, but like, look right here. Here's a life post I made about, I went to the grocery store, and I took a picture of my receipt with all our food in the background and talked about how expensive it is to feed kids and blah, blah, blah. And then, you can post any picture and make it a life post. I don't post a lot of before and after pictures because I think they make my page look spammy. But I just post about me. I post pictures of the kids. I post pictures of our animals. Um, and yeah, I post like 4 times a day. So you just want to have like you want to have an attractive page. So when someone goes to follow you back, they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, oh, like she's a normal person. Oh, like she has kids. I have some like pictures of products in here, but like these are more the kind of product posts that I do. Like I'll find like a cute pic on Pinterest and word swag it and then put in a thing. But I message a lot. So, people look at my page and they're like, oh, like she's a real person. Because sometimes, if someone comes back and looks at your page, guys, don't hashtag it works. Okay, see, like she's got, like she posts pictures of her kids. So that was a bad example that I just clicked on, but I don't like posts like this because I think that they look like spammy and people don't really want to look at them. But, okay, let's see. Even her page is like, what's happening? I mean, you don't want to post stuff like this. Okay, like right here. So it works. So you don't want to have all just it works posts because if someone goes to follow you back and your page looks like this, they're probably going to unfollow you right away because it looks like a business page. You don't even know what this girl looks like. You know what I mean? And I'm so sorry if you're on this right now. I mean, I feel like you're not, because if you were on Team Hooper, then you wouldn't post like this. But anyways, so you guys get the gist of what I'm saying here. Where did I leave off? No, I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. So I wouldn't even know how to build on there. I skipped one. So I'm boxed for diamond, but currently ruby. How do I determine where to move volume? So what you need to do is you need to go into your eSuite. And basically the only way you can do it is you need to go into your eSuite and go into Tree View and go to every person. This is so crazy, but I do this every month. Go to every person and you're going to click show loyal customers. And then so say like you have like Sam is a 400 box. So you go to Sam and you look at all the loyal customers under them and you add up the amount of every auto ship that's going to run, like say, so you want to promote this month. So for the month of August, plus their auto ship, and say it adds up to 270. Then you subtract that from 400 and that box needs 130 BV to be at 400 for the month and be a qualified leg. That's the only way that you can do it. And any month that I'm going for a promotion, that's what I do on the first day of the month. And then every day I check credit card declines. So if you go into your eSuite, if you're boxed for diamond, you probably know this, but if you go into your eSuite and you go into reports and click downline orders, you can see all the auto ships that like process every day, and you can see credit card declines. So if someone's credit card declines, then like, say they were set up for 270, but an HSN declined, then I would take that away. So they need an extra 30 BV because I'm not going to count on that credit card processing this month. Does that make sense? If you haven't gotten any money yet, talk about what it works will do for you. Exactly. I'm on Sarah's team. Her posts help. Advice is awesome. Love your life story and how far you've come so far. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah's bomb.com. So, I mean, we all know that. It's fine. No, ma'am, we don't know each other. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't answer them. Don't tell them that you added them because you're trying to build your business. They're just gonna block you. They're gonna be like, well, you're an asshole. And they're gonna block you. Blah, blah, blah. Any more questions? Yeah. So Mandy, remember when we did that $10 special and like 250 50,000 new distributors signed up in like a week? So prelims prelims are taking a little bit longer to post now, but I think they're going to post tomorrow, hopefully. But last month I don't think they posted till the 9th or the 10th. Just because there's so many more reps now that they have to. But a little birdie told me that they'll probably be posting tomorrow. When you're moving customers for promotions, do you place from the bottom line of your chart up or top to bottom? Is it like bad to answer this on here? I feel like some people probably are like so confused. I place from bottom to top. So like if I mean, it really depends. Like if there's boxes under a 400 box, like, and I need a fast start bonus, then I'll place under those boxes because that volume is gonna like fill upward anyways. Um, talk to your upline about it. I don't want to tell you something wrong. Yeah, do not tell people. Yeah, exactly. Definitely do not tell people that you're adding them to build your business because they're going to be like, no. And then they might like screenshot it and share it on their Facebook page and be like, don't add this girl. She's going to try to sell you wraps. She's crazy. Okay, I'm getting delirious. Does anyone have any more questions? No, everyone's good. Well, I'm excited that so many people got on and then you guys stayed on and listened to me blabber until how do you start new DTs? Oh. I start new DTs. I give them, when I start new DTs, I sign them up and then I send them a message and I'm like, all right, girl, add me on Facebook if we're not friends on Facebook yet. And then they add me on Facebook and I'm like, okay, I don't work through text message. Like I just message my team on Facebook. I actually started doing this because Sarah told me about it and it really makes my life so much easier to just have everything on Facebook. I mean, Sarah's the real MVP here. Let's be real. She's got all the good tips. But so I started doing it on Facebook. So I'm like, add me on Facebook. And they're like, I don't have a Facebook. I'm like, well, you need to have a Facebook because that's where we do all our training. So when you make a Facebook, add me and message me and we'll get you started. And then I send them this spiel about how like, I just want you to know that like, I'm here to go at your pace. So if you want to run, I'll run with you. If you want to walk, I'll walk with you. But basically I'll match your efforts. So I'm going to get you added to our team page. I'm going to get you put in our team chat and I'm going to give you your first post and we're going to get that up. And then once you post, I'm going to send you a message to start messaging for your first 4 customers. Sound good? So like I tell them sound good. I'm throwing the ball to them. Now they need to answer me. So if they don't answer me, then like, bye. I'll message you tomorrow and be like, hey, are we going to do this or what are you doing? If they're like, yeah, sounds good. I get them in the things. I get them their posts. And I'm like, okay, here's your first post. Message me after you've posted. So now I threw the ball back to them. So they make their first post. They message me. They're like, okay, I posted. And I'm like, okay, here's a message. You're going to send this out to all your friends and family in your phone. And then when you're done with that, you're going to start going through Facebook and sending this message out to them. So I have them send a different message to the people that they text rather than the people that they message on Facebook. Because people that's contacts are in your phone, you know them on a deeper level than your Facebook friends. So like, we're going to send this message to these people. Then when you're done with that, we're going to send this message to Facebook. And then I'm like, when people start replying to you, send me screenshots so I can help walk you through your conversations and seal the deal. Make them send you screenshots because they are babies and they don't know how to crawl yet. And we have to teach them. And they're going to get their first 4 customers way faster if they're screenshotting you and you're helping walk them through their conversations. And then once they start screenshotting me, I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you this short video about sealing the deal, and having like conversations with loyal customers. And then hold on, I'll answer that in a second. And then I send them Jade's sealing the deal video. It's like 10 minutes long. And I'm like, okay, watch this. Let me know when you've watched it, whatever. And then I kind of just go from there. Like I train everybody. Each person is different because it depends what pace they're going at. And some people catch on super quickly, and some people need you to hold their hand for a long time. And I'll hold your hand if you're working. But if you want to run, then like go do your thing. And if you don't want to do anything, then I'm not going to chase you down. What do you do if they don't send you screenshots even when you tell them to? You can't make anybody do anything. So you can just like remind them like, hey, like, if like I don't hear someone for a day or two, I'll message them and be like, hey girl, like what's going on? Just wanted to check in. How are you doing with messaging? And then if they're like, oh, like I haven't really messaged, and I'm like, all right, well, like, right now I'm like, well, let's get you that free product credit. Like, let's get your first 4 customers and start building your first paycheck. And then I'll give them like an HSN post to put up. Like normally I don't give people posts, but, like I'll just like, throw them a bone, like here, post this. Cause HSN posts always get a lot of attention. And then kind of like go from there, see if they post it. You can't make anyone do anything. You don't want to like chase anyone down. If they're like ignoring you or whatever, like someone just say like, what do you do when people stop messaging you? I reach out 3 times, and after the 3rd time, like I'm just kind of like that last message, just kind of like, hey, like, I hope everything's okay. I hope everything's okay. I know it's really overwhelming when you get started in the beginning, because it is. And just kind of like let them know that I'm here for them. If they decide that they want to start doing this, like I'm, ready to do it with them and go at their pace, and that, I'll always be here to, if they decide that they want to jump in whenever, they can just message me, and the business will be here, and I'll be here whenever, they're ready to get started. Because some people sign up and they're just not ready yet. Like they sign up and they're still kind of like on the fence. God, I like can't catch my breath. I'm all worked up. How often do I check in with my new DTs? Every day. I message them every day. But I have them like in a group chat. So I just kind of like, I'm talking to people in the group chat. And then if I notice that no one's like if like one of my new people isn't really like talking in there, then I message them and I'm like, hey babe, like do you have any screenshots you need me to help you with? Whatever. But yeah, you want to be like excited and talking to them, because when you're like excited and talking to them and being like amped up for them, that's gonna like amp them up even more. You know what I mean? So any other questions before we hop off of here? I know it's like getting super late, like it's almost 1 o'clock. I could die. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tonight, and I did record it, so maybe I'll put it up on my YouTube. But yeah, you guys are welcome. I hope I wasn't like too crazy and all over the place. I get really scatterbrained. I have like a lot of squirrel moments, so I try to stay on track tonight, but let me stop.